Hello again, you beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from this beautiful planet watching this. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support as always. And you know the drill. Before we go any further, please hit the like button below and this pretty little red rectangular box. Subscribe to my channel, please. I would really appreciate it very much. A little bit goes a long way, but thank you so much. This will help me stay motivated and think about the most important content to give you guys. So again, welcome to another episode of Life Learner. So today we're going to be talking about how I found out about my son's autism. So I tell you, if I were to shoot this like years ago, my tone would be different. It would probably be sad, emotional, depressed, angry, anything happy. But because I'm recording this now from the happy place, emotionally in a happy state, I'm going to be talking about it coming from a happy and good emotional state of being. So, okay. It's kind of difficult for me to start. I actually don't know how to begin, where to begin. I guess it would be smart to give you the details from the pivoting moment for me. So it all started when Erwin was in Singapore. I think he was 2 years old when I enrolled him into a Montessori school. So I did send him to a Montessori class, kindergarten I think that was, or a preschool, because I truly believe in learning through tactile. They're more about play. I can't tell you more about Montessori school because that's not what this video is about, and he didn't stay that long. So yeah, the story is about one day the teacher called me and asked if I could observe Erwan for a few minutes in the class, and so I said, well, the earliest I could be there would be 2:30 because I could start my work from 6 a.m. and then leave work at 2, travel, get there in 30 minutes, so 2:30. But I said that's not gonna work because if Erwin sees me in the room, he's not gonna be his usual authentic self because I'm there. Of course he'd be shy. So what I did was picked him up, like dropped him back to our apartment, and then I had to go back to the school to talk to the teacher. So we sat down and she talked to me. She was talking and talking, and at that very moment where I sat down and she talked to me about this important thing, I swear I could not hear any word that she was saying. My entire focus was the sound of the ceiling fan and what the temperature in that room was, how bright the light was in that room. So all of my attention, my energy was focused on the ceiling fan. She was right in front of me. She was talking to me, but I looked at her, like I seemed to have nodded and agreed, but then it was, I think, my body, not able to process it, not being able to accept or digest that information because it was all new. It was an unknown territory to me. So she said, Erwin is showing red flags. Erwin is showing signs. It was I really didn't know how to process it. Like even now, sitting here, trying to visualize and reenact it, I still don't know how to react to it. So she mentioned that Erwin was unable to initiate play with peers. So that was one of the signs and one of the red flags. The second thing was that he did not have any spatial awareness. He would be grabbing stuff from a cupboard or a cabinet without any sense of safety. So he could just grab stuff and then not knowing that because this is heavy, I might not be able to carry it. I might drop it on my toes and then I'd get injured. So he did not have that sense of safety and spatial awareness meaning he's not aware that there are other people behind his back. He would just be moving, not not minding that he could hurt someone else. So that's the second thing. The third one is that she mentioned that he tiptoes a lot, because in that Montessori school, they usually they're barefoot in the classroom basically. So immediately the teacher was able to spot like, why is he always on his toes? And then the next one was she says he was able to solve the largest puzzle in the class, which, you know, no other kids have been able to solve. And then that he knows more than just the basic shapes. You know, the usual 1 or 2 year old would probably know a few more shapes that have more than 4 sides, but for him, he was advanced. Yes, so those were that. And then the eye contact wasn't there. So she kept talking to me about that, and then immediately, I don't know how I did it though, because I was looking at her, she did not seem to be distracted by me not present in the room. So I really don't know. Like, I did not care how she felt. All that it mattered to me was, like, how do I process all of these? Like, my brain was like, okay, these are all the information floating around, and I don't know how to process them. And then immediately I sat there, and I got like flashbacks from when my brother was younger, and he was hyper, and I was thinking, most kids are like that. They don't have any spatial awareness. So what if they grab stuff and then not think about safety? They're just kids. And I thought about, so what if he's able to solve the largest puzzle in the classroom? So what if he doesn't know how to engage in play? That can be learned. That's a skill that can be learned. So to me, it was more about, no, there's nothing wrong with my son. So yeah, that was the kind of emotional state that I was in while talking to the teacher. I really did not. I was not in an acceptance mode. It was more of, okay, here are the information. It's just floating. It was just floating on air. And there was no appropriate word for like how I felt. The closest thing would be disbelief. I was unable to process it all. The only thing that I think that I was able to give back to her was, okay, rightio, let's move on. So I've just ordered new sets of uniform last week. So what's going to happen now? Is he going to be able to continue or not? So she said, we're not equipped to handle kids like him. So I apologize. I'm going to have to give you back the tuition fee, and then the uniform, you can just cancel it. That's fine. So yeah, I wasn't heartbroken or anything after that conversation that I had with the teacher. So I was fine when I got home. I talked to my housemates back in Singapore, as well as Erwin's nanny, Daisy. She's still in Singapore. She's lovely. She's awesome at what she does. She's good with kids. So they were saying, no, I think Erwin's fine. He just don't know how to socialize with other kids. But again, that can be learned. And then one day I really decided to take Erwin at a playground to observe. That was my purpose. Like, I'm going to take him to the playground and really observe and compare him with the other kids. And then that was the realization. That was when it hit me, because I really did see and compared him to the other kids playing. He does not know how to engage with play. He does not know. He's not the typical babies or kids who would really look at you and get your attention to say, hey, play with me, or grab a toy and like look you in the eye to say, can I borrow this, or I want to play with you. So he does not do that. He just plays on his own. He's just happy with his own little world. Everything started clicking. I had a lot of aha moments. I had a lot of, right, okay, now this makes sense. Because firstly, when he was a baby, I then got a lot of flashbacks. So when he was a baby, he just would not sleep through the night. It took a lot of, dancing him to sleep. It takes an hour and a half to get him to sleep, and then when I put him down, he would wake up immediately. So then that clicked. He couldn't self-soothe, and his senses were heightened. He did not he wasn't happy if I turned on the hair dryer. It scared him a lot. So that was one. And then the second thing was when we're at a shopping center or in a crowded area or a crowded place, he would just really be fuzzy. He wouldn't settle. So again, it goes back to he has his senses heightened. He was always a crybaby. So yeah, it all goes back to his senses heightened. It was always a struggle to use the hair dryer. He was always fascinated with numbers. He's always fascinated with things that go up and down and around. He would line things up, especially the rubber bands. I could show you a clip about it. He likes to place things in order. And if anything's missing, it's gonna be World War II. When we go into a shopping center, when he knows there would be lifts, he would stand in front of the elevator door, and because he likes to see it open and close, and then the numbers going up and down. And yeah, quite funny to actually think about it, because we would go to the shopping center and then we literally spend time standing in front of a lift. Sometimes he doesn't care if he's standing right in front of it, and then people would have difficulty getting out or getting in because he's in the way. But yeah, that's again spatial awareness. So we would do that, and then he would line things up in order. He memorized the solar system, so he could enumerate it in an exact order and in reverse really fast without even thinking about it, because I think he's got a photographic memory. I'm not quite sure, but that's how he is. He doesn't even have to think about the order. He just says it out loud. The same rate of speed as he's enumerating it in that particular order. So yeah, it all started to click, started sinking in, and for me to say, okay, yes, that's right. So the teacher is right. He's showing signs. So I have come to an acceptance state regarding the signs. But yeah, I did go through a phase. Sometimes I would ask God, why me? I'm not the most person in the world. Why me? Why are you giving me this? Why me? And then I would just hear something or feel it in my heart talking back to me and said, well, why not? You can do this. It's not something negative if you don't let it be a negative thing, whatever it is. And then I started feeling positive. By that time, I wasn't fully accepting of things. Sometimes I go through a phase when I get angry really easily. So I think that's part of the phase, right? Denial, anger, yes. It took me ages to get over denial phase. I would cry. I would then go back to, what did I eat when I was pregnant? What were my stress levels back then? I would then go about thinking, is this hereditary? So, there's a lot of questions, because I had gestational diabetes when I got pregnant, and because I wasn't ready, I didn't want to be ready, my life turned 180 degrees in an instant. So I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared. I can't blame it on anybody really, but it was me. I did not research well enough. I did not prepare well enough. I could have done more. The doctor was telling me, you need to change your diet because you've got gestational diabetes. And to me, it's like, no, why are we telling me how to eat? I want to eat how I want to eat. You know how pregnant mothers are. We're stubborn. We just want to do what we like. So I went back to that to really think about, was it me? that's how I found out. Mom, of course, you'd say, radio, let's go, let's move on. Life does not stop. Let's move on. So I enrolled him into a Catholic school, thinking that they'll be more equipped to handle kids who are atypical. They'd be more inclusive, accepting. But yes, I got that dreaded phone call again. The teacher says, can you observe your child? And I was like, oh, here we go again. So I did. I sat down in the classroom with all the other kids and him, and the other kids were able to follow through. They when they're asked to do some drawings, or when they're asked to do some a certain activity, they can follow through. They can follow along. But with Erwan, he would just run outside, and that's when they said, well, we're not equipped to have someone follow him all the time, because there's only one teacher in the class, and then she has to teach everyone in the classroom. And then I think there was like 20-30 kids in the classroom. So again, she says, this is not the school for Erwan. And it's funny to me now, but sorry, I still have this lingering cough from COVID. So it's funny to me now, but like thinking about it now, I thought, okay, I just ordered another set of uniform. What's gonna happen now? So I kind of like joked about it now, thinking maybe the third set of uniform is bad luck or unlucky. But I'm over that. So yeah, that's how I found out. After those, the feedback from those two schools, I then started to really look up some articles online about what autism is, and then how they are when they're younger, what happens eventually when they're older. Is it going to be curable? What caused it? Or how can we correct it? Because at that time I was thinking it can be corrected, it can be reversed, maybe through diet or whatnot. Something has to be done. That was my mentality. But it doesn't mean that I wasn't angry. Still, I was angry, but I was also looking for a solution, because as a mom, you can never give up. And especially because I asked God, why me? And then I got a response, him saying, well, why not? It's a challenge. Let's face this head on. So of course I had my moments where I would cry and go into this bitterness mode, or I blame myself, or I still wouldn't want to try to connect the dots. Why? How could I have avoided it? But that's all part of the process. Know that you're not alone. Know that other moms out there are also experiencing this, and know that it will be better. It will get better. Know that it's only going to be your mindset. That you're your kid's universe, literally. So if you want him to progress, you have to look at things in a positive way. If you want him to improve, you can't look at all the negative aspect that he's showing you. Think about the milestones, however little or tiny or however less frequent they are, because with the kids in the spectrum, they tend to progress, and then progress one step and then regress 2 steps backward. Know that that's fine. Know that you're going to be okay. Know that you're not alone. Reach out. You can talk to me if you want. Again, Erwan, at the moment, he's not 100% able to socialize, especially with his peers, but we're working through that. But I see a lot of improvements. Even the people in school, his therapists, they see a lot of potential in him. And that's because it's got to start from you as a mom. They have to look at you and see a happy mom, because it all starts from you. You are their universe, their world, literally. So give them that positivity. It all starts with you, mom. You can't falter now. You can't say you're weak now. Well, you can, but know that it's just a phase. You're gonna come out from that eventually. Know that you can. Know that you will. Know that, life will always move along. It may take a long time for you to get from the negativity or in the negative space into this bright and beautiful, life is beautiful phase, whatever, lemons you get. Know that you can, know that you will. Start with that. Don't give up. Not now, not ever, not for your son. But it's okay to falter sometimes. It's okay to, sulk. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be in denial. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay. Just one breath at a time, one day at a time. You're not a bad mom. You did all the best that you can. You did the very best that you can, to the best of your ability, the best way you knew how. Start with that. Start by loving yourself, taking care of yourself, because how else are you going to take care of this little being if you yourself, you're not happy? Know that I had been there, but you can only go so deep. When you're in this deep shite hole, you can only go so deep until you say, okay, now it's time to climb back up. No one can help you but yourself. Know that how your child will progress is entirely dependent on you. There were times wherein he'd be sleeping and I'd be putting my hands over him as if I'm praying over him, but to me it was just like transfer of love and positive energy, not really giving up. When other people give up on your son, you don't give up, because your son. It's all about the mindset, really. It's all about the proper state of mind, proper state of emotion that you can conquer whatever. So I'll talk about the negative side of things, the depression that I had. When I gave birth to him, I have to be honest, I went through a postpartum depression. It all hit me, really. I struggled during the first few days, months when I had him, because again, I didn't know back then, but now it makes sense to me now that his senses were heightened. He did not sleep at night. My skin would hurt. Like every time I see the sun go down, it's like, oh my God, it's gonna go dark again. My skin hurts literally, because I knew I wasn't gonna be getting any sleep, because I'd just be dancing the night, because if I put him down, he's gonna wake up. So I had to dance him to sleep, and in the morning it's the same thing. And luckily, I survived it. I'm still alive. I thought then I'm gonna die, because lack of sleep, it's taxing to the body after childbirth. That yes. And then the 180 degrees change in lifestyle. I was at the height of my career when I had him. That took a toll mentally to me as an ambitious woman. Realization that why is my kid difficult? Why is he not like the other babies? They're easy babies. Other moms are happy. Why am I not that? But luckily, with the right mindset, just living one day at a time, one breath at a time, you can and you will get through this. You'll be, the strongest version of yourself after this. So yes, that's how I found out feedback of those two schools. Then I started doing my research. And then I think that would be it for now, because I don't really want this video to be lengthy. I will make sure that all the videos are consistent to the topic. So that's how I found out. Maybe the next time, depending on how you guys would provide feedback on this, I can tell you more. I can tell you the ugly side of things, the difficult side of things, the happy milestones. I can go through those if you like. But yeah, again, it's all about the mindset. It's all about really calibrating to the source. You think to yourself, it's not easy, by the way. I'm not saying that in an instant you can think positively. All I'm saying is I've been there. It's difficult. Know that you're not alone. Know that if you want to, you can reach out to other moms. You can reach out to me if you want to talk to me about it. I'll be all ears. I'll, you know, with arms wide open, I'll talk to you. Even if it's impossible to actually imagine a bright future, if you just believe, you know, maybe it's called faith, but I just really don't want to talk spiritual or biblical. But if you call it faith, that's fine. But know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There always, you know, they say there's always, if there's a will, there's a way. And because we're still alive, there's always second chances. We could still turn things around. And I believe that there is nothing that you cannot do, be, or have in this life, because you are your own driver. You're the creator of life. You're part of that. You're an extension of source. So I think that's it for the day. I think I've given you too much already, and I hope that, you know, this topic was interesting to you guys. Again, thank you for your support. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so I can stay motivated to create more content. Otherwise, I'll be back to my day job. Yes, again, thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.